perspective?
My guitar player, David Sinclair, who is fabulous. He was, he's just fabulous. He's my musical director and guitar player. He's been on the road with, actually he was mine first. Well, I shouldn't say that. I think he was in my band many, many years ago, and he went on the road with Sarah McLachlan for years.
Oh, did he?
And Katie Lang, and oh my gosh, a lot of people, and he's just wonderful. And when I called, I wasn't sure whether he was going to, come back on the road with me or not, because I know he's very much in demand. And he said he would. He was very anxious to do that. And Mary Saxton, who was my backup singer, and she's fabulous. And I thought I'd ask her and see if she would come on the road again, and she said yes. So it's just been wonderful.
Well, you just had fun there. That was obvious.
Oh, I just had a ball. It was great. And
no, this is just completely because you're talking. Do you know what the Mariposa Folk Festival is?
Yes, I've heard.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, the 1963 Mariposa Folk Festival. My date was Rita McNeil.
Oh, is that right?
Who was a skinny little thing at that time. Just to put it in.
What a beautiful voice she got.
Some sort of perspective.
Yeah.
It's just amazing who turns over.
I know.
Stuff. Eddie
it's
Cowan
great.
put the thing on, and I provided a bunch of stuff, and Ian and Sylvia sang Forest Strong Winds or whatever it was. It was just all the stuff that was sort of after Woodstock.
It's so nice. It's for me to get back into the music industry now. It's just, I've been in it, but not. I miss the Canadian music industry. I did all kinds of. I did the Ian Tyson show and the Tommy Hunter show and Rolling on the River with Kenny Rogers
that Ian
Bobby Vinton.
You know that Ian lost his voice, do you?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's just having to learn how to talk again.
No kidding, I didn't know that.
Living on a ranch in Alberta. And
he always loved Alberta.
I'll go to Alberta.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. He's, 71 years old now? Is that what it is? I can't remember. Anyway, he's sort of craggy and an old cowboy, but he's having trouble talking.
No kidding.
Yeah, and he's trying to do some more coming back again.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
So you've got a CD, and now I heard you say something like you were going to go to Nashville and produce this. Why not Mushroom Studios?
Well, I'm going to do it here. I had considered last year, because when I was down in Nashville, gosh, I was producing my own demos down there, and I used all the A-string players, all the guys that were playing on all the hit records that you hear nowadays, and I got to know all these guys, and I thought, well, maybe I'll go down there and do that, because, or at least put the tracks there and then bring it back, and then I decided, no, I really want this to be a Canadian project, I really do. And I'm getting back working with David again, and a lot of the musicians here. They're so good. And
there's a little studio at the corner of Dublin or Edinburgh and 20th in Westminster that you would likely never hear of. They actually do an internet show out of there, but they got a full music studio capability. And there's Mel Cooper's studio, I can't remember what he calls it now, Sea-Line or Skyline. Last time I was there, Baldy was recording something.
Okay.
So he's got a 16-track, if that's what... They're all over the place up here.
Oh, I know.
So.
I know. It's just that it was just... I do not
want to do
know
Gary Vanneman.
Yes.
When Barrett Vanneman and I and Patricia were in Antigua, or not Antigua, Montserrat, which is now virtually not there because of the volcano, there was a really famous radio station, 900 kilowatt or something, that broadcast all over North America, and a studio, and the police were there recording on this little island in the middle of the Caribbean. And so where do you think you're going to do it? Have you
I'm not
decided?
Sure, but I do not want to do it.
Around.
I don't want to do it in a studio where it's... there are a lot of studios will do this where and it's okay. It's just not what I particularly want to do. I want I use the term organic because I want to be able to get a whole band, and I want that whole band sound. I don't want to do the sound where, heck, nowadays you could throw a drum track on there and then just keep adding on. You could have one guy do all the instruments,
That's correct,
just keep
just
stacking it on top of it. And I don't want to do that.
You want to do the whole thing live.
I want to have, I want a real a live band sound, and I just the feel that you get from it is totally different.
Totally different. I understand. Because last time I was in Mushroom Studios, Alan Thicke was recording Linda. Yeah. And of course, Alan used to produce all of Anne Murray's.
I know Ellen, yeah.
Yeah, all of Anne Murray's. Well, his brother Todd lived in this house in the end bedroom for 4 years while they were doing the Alan Thicke show.
No
And
kidding.
do you know what he's doing now? Do you know what Todd's doing now?
No, yes, he's doing the funniest...
America's Funniest Home Videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, you're up on top.
Yeah.
Okay, how much more time have we got, Richard?
None.
None? Are we out of time?
Keep going.
Well, is there anything that we've missed that you want to talk about?
Gosh, I don't know. Let me see.
What have we missed?
I don't know.
So we got to the end.
How about that? Yes.
Well, we got to the
We've
end.
got
There's-
from where I started and right to
You're
where
right
I
to
am.
sitting in Ingram's living room having just finished your bloody tax return.
That's right.
Mitchell's photocopied it as we speak. Okay. Guest was Susan Jacks, I, of course, and David Ingram, and nobody phoned. But what we're finding is that we don't have an awful lot of viewers of the live thing, but all sorts of people need it in archives. And Richard will show Rob, as your webmaster.
Yes.
Rob can figure out how to put this on your site, and anybody that wants to see what you're doing, or you can put a link to it and just go straight to the other one, doesn't matter.
Great.
So we can have some fun with it. And
Yes.
if you come up with something else when you've decided where you're going to do the record and so
Well, I'll
on,
come back
then
when
you
I've
give
done
me,
the CD.
you give
and
me
we'll
a call.
do
You
this
know
again.
Richard, and
Yes,
you
I
know
do.
me, so you just give us a call
I'll
and
do
come
it.
on over. And I think what we're going to do now is we're going to do an interview with Richard. We're going to take a 5-minute break, and then we're going to talk about Richard, because Richard, believe it or not, and I think you know this because of working with him out in Port Moody there for a while,
Yes.
Richard was, with his partner Stuart Lynn, was the first person in Canada to produce or provide commercial internet services for ordinary people. And
Yes.
I know it was so funny because they started this business and people were paying $100 to belong to it, but they didn't have MasterCard and they didn't have Visa facilities. So they used our MasterCard and Visa facilities. Okay, and people that had signed up for the internet would get a bill from Senta or and complain that they hadn't done anything. So, and what was really funny is when I went through my $5 million bankruptcy and then my divorce, for some reason or other, my ex-wife had canceled. I had a MasterCard and canceled my MasterCard and Visa about 4 or 5 or 6 months before the split. And then because I'd just been through a $5 million bankruptcy, I couldn't get a Visa or MasterCard account to start off with either. So Richard provided his Visa MasterCard account for me.
Oh, well, there you go.
So turnabout as far as we're going to have to get. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to get sometime in the next couple of weeks. We're going to get Murray Morrison in, a marvelous bankruptcy lawyer in Surrey, to talk about bankruptcy, because so many people are in financial difficulty
Right now, oh.
This is the time to do it. We'll bring Murray over maybe next week or something. We'll get him over.
Hancock next week.
Well, we've got David Hancock and the Eagles next week,
right, yep.
and I guess Dan Walker. So we'll do it the week after that or something like that. Anyway, Susan Jacks has been my guest, and she's got a website, www.susanjacks.com. You can take a look at it anytime you want to. There she is, looking gorgeous. And if you just type Susan Jacks into Google, she comes up number 1. You don't have to put apostrophes or anything around it. She's the number 1 on there. Of course, there's dozens of David Ingrams. If you put David Ingram into Google, I come up number 1 too, which is sort of neat because there's professors and authors and television and writers and actors. It's really amazing. But you type Susan Jacks in and you'll find links to YouTube videos and the song that you sang at the
Christmas Angel.
Christmas Angel, where you sort of broke up and started crying. That's on the thing. I think you took out the crying part, though, or the real
Actually,
sad
I
part.
didn't post it on the web on the internet, but so whoever did took out the part where I choked
Took up
yeah.
the all emotional part.
Yeah.
Anyway, Susan Jacks, thank you for coming in. It's been fun.
Thank you.
And we're going to come back in 4 or 5 minutes with Richard Bitt.